I'm Cyrilla. This is Alvam Yoga House. I'm about to take you through my morning warm-up. I do this every day before I get into my real deep stretch, but for anyone that's just starting yoga, it's a beautiful way to start your day and just get all the kinks out so that your body is smooth like butter.
So hi there, we're gonna start getting ready. Take a nice big breath, get all the shakes out. We're gonna take our blanket. Using a blanket for the majority of this practice, you're gonna fold it up and sit on it just like a pillow, getting really comfortable. I prefer half lotus position, but you can also sit on your knees. Starting to sink into your breath, we're just gonna rotate our chest around the hips. So it looks like we're making really big circles, circling the heart over the pelvis. Remember to breathe slow and try and close your eyes and go inward, really feeling out all the kinks in the body. Let's reverse directions, breathing even slower, moving with more intention. Now we're going to go back the other direction, getting even a little looser. Start to incorporate the neck, the shoulders, making it a little more dramatic, a little more expressive. Remember, it doesn't have to look perfect. It should look a little off-kilter. We're just trying to feel and connect with our breath through the body. Taking a big breath, reach your arms up to the sky and exhale, fan them down by your sides. Inhale, start to reach up again, and exhale, bring your arms down to the sides, pushing through the palm. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, we're going to sweep the arms in front of us. Interlace your fingers, push the palms out and up overhead. Inhale, draw all that beautiful energy inward. Interlace your fingers, push through the palm. Exhale and reach up. So one full breath, moving really slow. Inhale, gathering. Exhale, interlace, press the palms out and all the way up as you begin to breathe in. Exhale, push the palms out and all the way up as you begin to breathe in. Take as many breaths as you need to, making sure you're just moving consciously and with intention. Closing your eyes to really feel through the body each and every moment. Take that left hand down now and reach up to the sky. Now we're not trying to tilt too much, we're just trying to create some length in the side body. Start to rotate your arm around in some big circles, focusing at the shoulder joint, opening your heart up to the sky or ceiling. Slowly sway over to the other side. And again, just bringing your arm into some big circular rotations. Moving your body with the breath. Really opening up your chest, breathing into that left lung, the left rib cage. Swaying to the front and just rocking side to side. Letting your head and chest come to the front of the body, just feeling the spine start to lubricate. Welcome any yawns, any moaning, any sounds, any forms of expression to help move the energy out. Taking your hands behind you, open your heart, finding any little intuitive movements that your body is asking for. Again, closing your eyes and going inward. Letting your breath move the body. This whole practice is just one giant good morning from you to you. You can start to turn the stomach, activating your abdomen, just sort of rotating the pelvis around. Beautiful. So we're gonna remove our blanket now, unfolding it and placing it right in the middle of our mat. So this is just going to provide a little extra cushion and support throughout our practice so we don't have to keep grabbing a pillow or blanket. Coming onto all fours, just start to cat-cow, just bringing your forehead and pelvic bone together. Adjust your hair, adjust your pants, and step back into downward dog. Walking out your heels left and right. Sink into the breath. Feeling your body be upside down, just be with the pose and step your right foot forward. Placing your other knee on the blanket, inhale, reach all the way up. One big breath, one big stretch. Taking your hands down to the ground, just switch your feet. Inhaling, reaching your arms all the way up. Huge breath, lifting the ribs away from your hips. And exhale, bring your hands back down, back into downward dog. Slowly walk your feet up the mat. 1 step, 2 step. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, stand all the way up. And exhale, folding right back over. Inhale, lift. This time we're going to take our right leg back and rest it on the blanket. Taking a nice deep lunge, inhale, reach the armpits, the shoulders, the ribs up. And exhale, step back into your downward dog. Switch your feet. Resting the knee, inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring your hands back down and step into downward dog. Now we're trying to build some heat, so we're not going to stay here for too long. Again, walk to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. Bending your knees gently, just to keep the back really long. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, folding forward again. So we're going to do that one more time. Stepping your right foot back, rest the knee on the blanket. Inhale, reach up. Feeling a little warmer this time. Switch your feet. Letting your hips feel heavy and sink to the ground. Inhale, reach up, feeling the abdomen stretch and all the inner organs. Step back into downward dog, walking your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, fold forward once again. Inhale, halfway lift. Taking either leg back, you're going to keep the knee lifted in a low lunge and pulsing up and down, making sure that your knee isn't coming over the ankle. Just warming up the hips. Again, switch your feet. And pulsing up and down, making sure the knee is staying stationary. And your back heel is pulsing up and down also. Beautiful. Step back into your downward dog. Walking your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Stepping the opposing foot back. Inhale, reach your arms up. Pulsing up and down. Don't worry if you step the wrong foot back. We're switching the legs each time. Stepping into your downward dog. Switch your feet. Pulsing the hips up and down. Keeping your legs really strong and really activated. Hands come to the mat. Step into your downward dog. Again, walk to the front of your mat. 1 step. And 2 step. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. And take your hands by your side. So we're going to open our chest a little bit now, interlacing your fingers behind the back. Clasp the palms tight and just lift your heels up and down, finding the middle line so you're standing your tallest, keeping your core strong. Sinking your heels down, we're going to start to find a little back bend, so keeping your back body really active. Squeeze your glutes, your bum, your shoulders, your upper back, and just feel the chest and heart open. Taking as many breaths as you can, feeling comfortable here. And hinging at the hips, we're going to start to fold forward. So take your feet a little wider. Let your rib cage roll onto the thighs. And as you start to straighten the legs, you're going to bow down, looking through in between the knees. Inhale, look up, flattening the back. Exhale, fold. So as you inhale, you're bending the knees. As you exhale, you're straightening the knees. Finding your maximum fold, we're going to stay here for a few more breaths, pulsing as you need to find more depth, to find more comfort. I also like to twist, warming up my thoracic spine even more. Little shake, little shimmy. Remember, you know you best, so be aware, be attentive. Letting your hands hang. Beautiful. We're going to step back into our plank, so hop, walk, or jump, and lower all the way onto your belly. So the blanket should be underneath your hips now, and your hands are just underneath the elbows. Bring your feet together so your big toes and heels are touching, and squeeze your glutes. Start to lift up, keeping your elbows tight, and roll your shoulders down and back. Holding and release. Again, inhale, lift up, this time trying to find a little more height now that you have the alignment. Breathe deep. And release. Take your knees wide, resting them on the blanket, and sit back in child's pose. Let your heart melt onto the floor. Surrender to your practice. Surrender to the divine light within you. Slowly we're going to start to sit back onto our heels, letting your hands cup the top of your knees. Inhale, bring your heart forward, interlace, bringing your forehead to the pelvis. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, the same breath as before. So we're just trying to arch and round the spine as much as possible. Pressing through the palms, reaching through the fingertips. Let this be a time and point in your practice to find some intuitive movement. To round and find a serpent-like spine. Remember to breathe deeper now. Our body is getting warm. The muscles have lengthened and lubricated. All right. Let's get back into it. Stepping into downward dog. We're going to bring our left leg up and just open and close the hips. So it's just like your hips are opening up like a book and closing like a book. Just feeling the engagement, strength, moving with a little intention, a little agility. Let's switch to the other side. Open and close, open and close. Beautiful work, guys. Coming back into your downward dog, spread your feet so that the heels are together, the toes are apart. Pressing through the outer edges of your feet, just giving a different variation of your downward dog. Taking your right foot to the top of your mat, we're going to come up into a high lunge, taking 3 pulses. So the first pulse, we're just going to try and drop our hips low. On our second pulse, we're going to try and drop them even lower. And on the third one, we're going to rest our knee ever so slowly all the way on to the blanket. Interlacing your fingers, reach your rib cage up and away from the hips. Breathing deep and slow and steady. Bring your arms down to the side, down to the ground, and switch your feet. Again, coming up into that high lunge. Taking 3 pulses. 1. Drop the hips low. And 2. Even lower. Oh, so you should do a third pulse there. Apparently, Virtual Sierra decided to skip it. Now, if it's hard for you to touch the ground, you don't need blocks. You can use a book. Everyone needs different support, so do as you need. Taking your hands down to the mat, step back into your downward dog. Now this time I suggest you hop to the front of your mat. If not, you can walk, halfway lift and fold. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, fold forward once more. Inhale, halfway lift, hopping back into your plank or walk, lower on to your belly. Getting ready for upward dog, so same as cobra, but this time our knees are lifted off the ground. Roll your shoulders down and back and breathe with me here. Pulling the heart forward. Slowly roll over the toes and come into your downward dog. We're going to take our right leg up, bend the knee, open the hips. Feeling the stretch all along the front of your quad, and having a gentle twist to your spine. Switch your feet. Again, no worries if you ever choose the wrong foot. We're always just doing one side and then the other. Trying to keep that bottom leg straight, and then bring your feet back together. Hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Hop, step, or walk back into your plank. And we're going to come onto the tops of our feet. So kind of lazy here, rolling across the front of your thighs, keeping your hips close to the ground. And so keeping your arms locked out, it creates a really beautiful length all across the front of your abdomen. Move slow, move with care. Beautiful. Coming on to one side, we're just going to find a T-stand. This is too challenging for you to get your big toe on the ground. We're trying to anchor the inside of our foot so your big toe touches. You can keep your knee rested on the floor. However, continue to hold with me here and switch to the other side. Beautiful. Coming back over to the side we started on. So you can either do this from the knees, lifting the hips up and down, or finding a bit more strength in your shoulder to lift the entire hip and waist off the mat. Continue to pulse, do what you can, always having other options available to lift from the knee or to lift both. Good, we're almost done. Let's go to the other side now. Either lifting from just the knees, hips go up and down, or from both. If it's becoming too tiring to pulse, you can always just hold in your T-stand. Try to find some form of engagements that we're always building some stamina. Last one, coming over to the side we started on, we're going to try and ground that big toe and lift the other leg up, full expression of the body. Breathing into the heart, keeping everything active. Switch your sides. Beautiful, almost there. Taking your last final breath, come back into downward dog. Hop to the front of your mat, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, folding forward. So we're going to hang out here for a little bit. If you can bring your hands underneath your feet, that is amazing. If it's too intense for you because your hamstrings are a little tight, try bending your knees. Letting your ribcage just fold over the thighs. Beautiful, letting it all go, letting it all trickle down the spine. Any stress, any tension. Breathe it out. Releasing your hands, we're going to hop back into our plank. Lowering all the way down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, down dog. Hover forward into your plank and rest just your right knee onto the blanket. I call this a rainbow stretch, so if you want it a bit more challenging, you're going to keep all limbs, your hand, your knee, your foot, your ankle, but this is a bit more wobbly and unstable. If you kick your foot back like a kickstand, it'll support you so that you can find more mobility in your shoulder. Do what feels good, not what looks good. Rotating the shoulder all the way around. Nice big breath, just like at the beginning of class. Switching sides. So you'll see here how my foot is directly behind my knee. Using this pose to keep me balanced when I tuck it in, it requires a bit more stability and balance in my core. I prefer to keep it back. Remember to breathe deep, staying true to your breath. Let's sit back into our child's pose, letting our heart flood onto the mat. Finding some vulnerability in our practice. Practicing trusting ourselves. Okay, let's come up, finding a little twist. Place one hand directly behind you, really close to your bum, and use your other hand to help you twist. Keeping the spinal column stacked on top of each other. If this is too much on your ankles, you can try folding the blanket like I did and bringing it directly behind. So when you inhale, reach up, you'll find a little more length, and exhale, twist. So I've placed my hand right on my lower back, and I'm sort of pushing my palm into my lower back to help keep my hips squared. Using the initial posture just to twist, coming to the other side. Inhale, get really tall, and then using my hand that was behind to help keep my hips squared, so pressing it into my lower back. Take a moment here for some intuitive movement, maybe some cat-cow spines, some neck rolls, some shoulder rolls. Taking this time to find peace and practice gratitude, practice happy thoughts. Let's come onto all fours, cat-cow it out. Really move the energy out of the body. Now in my cat-cow, to help move the energy, I find it really helps when I rock forward and back. So as I'm rounding, I'm actually bringing my head forward. And as I'm arching, dropping the belly down, I'm pulling my hips back. So it's creating this sort of beautiful circular wave. Then we can also get into wild cat, so just finding some barrel chest rolls where they're no longer going forward and back, but instead side to side. My arms are there to support me. Really moving the energy so you have all these options. Finding the last piece of our practice, lay down on your back. Hips rested on the blanket. We're going to lift our hips up and down. Again, staying with that cat-cow spine. So let it arch. See how there's a little pocket underneath my mid-back? Because I really want to keep my awareness in the lower abdomen and my pelvic floor. Hands can really do whatever you please. I find it always keeps me focused when I have them in Namaskar Mudra. Now crossing your left foot over your knee. Thread the needle through, pulling your thigh towards your chest. Now we can grab the entire leg, Going even deeper, and if we release that other foot down, just squeezing the shin in towards our chest. Taking some long, deep breaths here. And release. So let's just break it up by finding another bridge pose. Interlace your fingers behind the back. And let's come to the other side. So crossing your right foot over, you're just going to go through that little hole again. Thread the needle through is what we call it. And drawing your thigh towards your chest. Beautiful work. And if you're looking to go a little deeper, you're just going to release that other leg, hugging only the front of your shin towards your heart. Breathe in and breathe out, letting all the tension from the hips go. Beautiful. Bringing both of your feet together, a little reversed butterfly pose. Sway your hips side to side. Rocking, listening to what the body is asking for. Rocking and swaying is really good to balance out the nadis, so the energetic body of your masculine and feminine. Start to rock forward and back. You can remove your blanket if this feels uncomfortable. Just like when we were a baby, rocking the nervous system, gently comforting, gently soothing. Beautiful. So I'm now going to take my blanket and tuck it right underneath my armpits. So as I lay down, this will just help lift my rib cage off my diaphragm slightly. Taking this last yin posture to absorb the practice that I just did. Good. Now I welcome you to find a little intuitive movement, whether that means a pose that you like to feel. I always like to play with the control of my core and flying my limbs around. Maybe you want to try headstands, maybe you have a more experienced practice and you know what you need. Just listen to your body right now. Don't think it, just feel it. Remember, this is your day and you are here to seize it. You are a warrior. You are capable. And you are exactly where you need to be. Giving yourself this medicine of movement. Thank yourself.